Hi everyone, and welcome to Party at Home with Diane. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Washington State. I'd like it if you could give me a follow or a like down below. And let's get started. We're going to make this card today, a nice fun fold card that opens up with a sentiment and a flower on the inside. This is an easy card and it's become my go-to card lately. I just love it. So let's get started. Today we're going to use the Highland Heather, the Blushing Bride, and basic white cardstock. We're going to, for stamp sets, we're going to use the Art Gallery. We're going to use the flower stamp, the big one, the middle one, and the small one right down here. I'm just digging this flower set, this stamping sets. 3-step stamping or 2-step stamping. I'm really having fun with it. The next we're going to use All Things Fabulous, and we're going to use the leaf. It is just the perfect size for these flowers. And then we're going to do the Happy Thoughts, and we're going to use the big sentiment here that says today is great because it's all about you, the great person you are and the great things that you do. I just love that. It is such a perfect and nice little sentiment for everything. We're going to use the Granny Apple Green for the leaves. For the flowers, we're going to use Highland Heather. We're going to use the Versamark for the little shadow effect here on the card. The Stampin' Seal. The Teflon Sheet. And Shammy. And you're like, oh wait Diane, how come your Shammy so small? In the catalog it looks bigger. It is. I cut mine down. I cut my Shammy in half, then I cut that in half, and then I cut those in half. So now I have 8 little Shammies. They're just perfect for me to manage, and when I do a workshop, everybody has their own little Shammy. So that's a tip. It works great. And they're really easy to cut just with a nice pair of scissors. So let's get started. We're going to start with our white cardstock, our basic white, and the two that we're going to use are cut down to 4.5 by 3 3 1/4. So that's 4.5 by 3 1/4, and 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So we're going to set these aside. We're going to start with the small one. We're going to start with the big stamp, the big flower first. So that's this flower right here. It's the lightest flower. It's the background of the flower. So it's going to be the lightest shade. So we're going to ink this up, and I'm going to stamp it out twice. Once, twice, and 3 times. Doesn't matter if it's not centered or if it's off to the side a little bit. It's a flower. There's no stamping police. Nobody's going to come and get you. It's just going to work. So here, we'll give this a nice clean. The cutting down the Shammy was just great for me. It just works perfect. So now we're going to use the second flower, which is this one right here. And you'll notice that it has a little V right here. And you can match that up to the little V right here. So we stamped it off twice and used the 3rd stamp last time. So now I'm going to stamp it off once and give it a stamp. And there you go. Nobody's going to know if you get it off a little bit. The only person that's going to know is you. I'm going to clean off my stamp. And now we're going to go to that last piece there, which is this little piece right in the middle. You don't have to use this piece. I like it. I think it completes the flower. But if you like your flower like this, go for it. I'm going to stamp this up. So this is going to be the brightest. So I'm going to use just right straight from the pad. Oh, I overstamped it a little bit. I'm going to clean that off. Do that again. There we go. And now this has that V too, but I'm going to bring it up just a little bit higher. I'm going to hold that down for just a minute, just to let that dark ink absorb into the flower. And there you go. That is it. Easy peasy pudding pie. I just love how this stamp set works, and it just is gorgeous. So now we're going to go to the Granny Apple Green. And what I did was I stamped this off on a piece of sticky note paper and cut it out. It's not perfect. It's just a rough cut, but it works good enough to be on there. And use that to protect the other one, the flower. We're going to turn it around. I like to use a lighter color and then a darker, so I do stamp off once, use the dark first. I've used this so much that the stickiness has come off of it. Stamp it off. And this flower, or this leaf, is so cool because no matter how you stamp it, it gives you this dimension of the light and the dark, and it's just a cool little stamp set. And there we go. We've got dark leaves, light leaves. I'm gonna give this a quick clean. With all that dimension in there. Now we're gonna go back to the Highland Heather, and we're gonna use this stamp from it right here, and we're gonna use it in the corners. So I'm going to stamp it up, and you'll see it has these little spots. You can tell this is the bottom, the rounded part is the top. So I'm going to stamp it off once and just stamp it in the corner. Stamp it off once, stamp in the corner. Oh, I didn't stamp it off, but hey, that's okay. Do this one a little bit more, and there you go. Clean off my stamp. Now we're going to go back to the green, and the reason why I go back and forth is because this way I can see where I want my leaves to be around the edge of the stamp. So as you can see on the example card, whoop, here you go, I've stamped around the edges. Here I went over it, it's fine, it doesn't matter. And I just rotate it around, again, stamping off some, using some its full strength. And I just, wherever I want a stamp to be, or a leaf to be, there we go. That's good enough. Clean it off. And look at that. No time flat. We have the outside of the flower done. So we're going to set this off to the side, and we'll put it all together when we get done. So the next, we're going to use the other basic white that we have cut at 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And this one we're just going to stamp in the corner. So again, we're going to do the 3-step stamping. We're going to use the big stamp. And I close these up each time because I have been known to grab the wrong color if I leave them open. Freaks me out. So this one, I'm going to do a little bit darker. So I'm only going to stamp it off once. And I'm going to go right into the corner and stamp it. Clean off my stamp, go to the next one, get it on the block. Just a light bop on that one, stamp that down. So it just depends how much you want to come off and what color you want on the flowers. And there you go. This is just such an easy, fun stamp set. I just can't believe it. Okay, I'm gonna close this one up because I don't want a purple leaf. I'm gonna bring it in. This. Get it back down. And let's add some leaves. Happy little leaves. Leaf off the top here. I like that. That's good enough. Clean off my stamp there. And we're going to set that one off to the side. Now, oh, we need to do the sentiment. And we're almost done with this card. It's like it goes so quick. Oops, excuse me. There we go. This card goes so quickly. So, this. Oh, I need my bigger block. So we're going to do this in the Highland Heather. I'm going to use the nice and dark color. Get this stamped on here. Oh, I got a little bit of overhang on there. What you can do is, what I'll do is I'm going to trim down this stamp just a little bit, take my scissors and trim it down a little bit so I don't get that. I just pushed a little too hard, but you know what? We can put a flower there. Nobody's going to know the difference. Okay, let's get this put back away. Okay, now we're almost done with the card. Yippee skippy, how about that? Okay, so we're going to take the Heather Highland that's been scored at 3 inches. We're going to take the big flower right here. Pull that out. Whew, sorry about all the noise there. My goodness. Will that fit on that one? Yeah, it'll fit on that one. Okay, so now we're going to use the Versamark. Gonna get that nice and juicy. And, oops, we're just gonna take it and stamp it right on there. Now, because it's the Versamark, I like to hold it, so I cover up my Versamark, put it off to the side, and just hold it there and really let that Versamark sink into the paper. And there you go. You've got a nice little image. Now, I was told lately, I'm going to clean it off with my sponge right now, but I was told when you use the Versamark to use the Stampin' Up cleaner, the Stampin' Mist, to help get that stickiness off of your stamp. So I'll go back and do that in just a little bit. Okay, so now we're ready to put the card together. We're going to open this up. There we go. Okay. We're going to get our, there we go, get this started. I'm usually a glue girl, So this is kind of different for me, but we'll get it to work. There we go. Whoop. And so here's my little tip. I like the grid paper because I can line this up with grids here and see about where I want my card to go. So I want it on that line right here. So I'm going to line up on this line here for my card. And then you make sure, then you'll know that it's nice and straight when you go to put your card on here. So this is lined up with this line is lined up with that line, and now your card's on there. We're going to use the Stamp and Seal again. It's a brand new one, so it's just a little tricky. I just opened it up. Like I said, I'm a glue person, so I'm still getting used to the Stamp and Seals. So we're going to put this one on here. I'm going to stick a little flower right there. Close it up. Grab this one. There we go. Oh, I'm getting better. Line this one up where you want it. And there you go. Now you could add some ribbon here or gussy it up. But how quick and easy and simple is this? I just love this Stampin' Set. So if you'd like to purchase this, any one of these sets, you can check me out at partyathome.net. I'll have links below in the comments with all the links on where to buy these stamps, what my stamp page is. It's Diane Hopper. My webpage is partyathome.net. And you'll be able to click on there and it'll take you to my Stampin' Up site. And you can order any and all of these products that you've seen today. So be sure to give me a like down below, give me a follow, and I will see you soon. Happy stamping.